There's one other feature that you want to be aware of working with selections. This is particularly useful, I think, with working with the magnetic lasso selection or a quick selection brush selection. But it would work with any selection. That is, if you once you've got your selection made, and if I zoom in on this, you can see also, by zooming in, you can find all sorts of little details that you may think are not good, because here it's off the line a little bit. Maybe could include a little more. There's a few little nooks and hooks and crannies once in a while that, let's say, if I go and zoom in here, you can see where it's not quite as straight as it should be here. Bear in mind, I'm viewing this right now up here. It says at 220%, 2.25 times as big as it normally is, which is a huge print right now. So for most work, this is probably plenty sufficient as far as accuracy. You want to try and be as accurate as possible, but to get it perfectly online once in a while requires a lot of patience and a lot of time that you don't necessarily need to spend on it. But the one feature I'll show you, that is, if you go into select down here to refine edge, okay, now this will tell you a couple of things. First of all, you can still okay, you can click on this, will show it against a red mask, kind of shows if you miss some areas of what you're looking for. Okay, maybe this point I missed a little bit, nothing really serious to worry about. This is against a black background, it shows you the cutout. So now if I move this around, it would show me how my edge looks as far as pasting it into another composition. And right now this looks very good. I'd be very happy with that and would be more than happy to use that. A couple of things you can do up on top here though. If you need to make it a little bigger or smaller, you can actually expand or contract your selection by pixels or by percentage here. So you could expand it or add to it, make it bigger by 1, 2, 5, 10%, or you can make it smaller. Feathering. Feathering is I'm going to show you 2 examples of this. I hope this works. Okay, I'm going to set it first of all to 0. And control, and I'm going here. Well, maybe I'll just let that alone, I guess. Excuse me. Feathering, you typically want to have it set in the 2 to 3 pixel range, something like that. When I do that, not 0.3, I'll go to roughly, let's say 2 pixels, something like that. Gives you a slightly soft edge. So when you copy this and put it into a new composition, you notice it has a very kind of a soft edge right now. If I go back and look at it here, look at it against a black background, soft edge. If I set the feathering to 0, you see now it's a very scissory cutout look. Okay, you want to avoid that. That's why I normally will say let's set it to around 2 pixels, something like that, and that gives it a soft edge. So when you paste it into another composition, the background color from the other composition or background image will blend through a little bit on the edge, making it look as though these two actually blend together, kind of are together, not a scissors cutout type thing. You can do a little smoothing with this a little bit. This will smooth out some of the edges. If I do that and let it work here, it might show on the screen. It may not. Let's see if I go up a little extreme here. Let's see what happens there. I did a lower. See, you can see it smoothed out the edges a little more too, and gave you a better cutout that way. This will work with any selection, elliptical marquee or rectangular marquee, the magic wand, and either of these, any of the lasso tools or the quick selection brush. But it's something to keep in mind as a way to make those selections look a little better and to improve them. And then, so let's say I'm going to smooth it there, say OK. One final thing you can always do too, and that is if you think you may need to work with a selection, the same selection, again later on, you can always go to select and save selection. It'll save it with this as a PSD file. Now it's only with this file it'll work, but you can always come back to the selection and refine it in the future and use it and make it a little better if you think you need to improve it. So the refined selection is something that you want, or refined edge is something you maybe want to get used to looking at, as it's going to give you, a way to determine how good is that selection, how smooth is it, and this actually looks very, very good right now. That would be a very good selection to use in a project.